What's up?
Hey, y'all.
This is Caramel.
And Chocolate.
Yes. We are here because we went and saw The Hustlers.
I'm a hustler, baby.
Oh, shoot.
I just want you to know.
It ain't where I've been.
Hey, where I'm about to go.
I just want to love you. That is the jam.
Shout out to Pharrell.
For real, yes. All right, I got notes.
She's prepared.
It's because I was at work, y'all. I was like, let me just jot down before I forget all the stuff I want to say about this movie.
I'm gonna let her go first. But she is prepared. I don't know her order no more, but she's prepared.
I think it is my turn.
Okay, perfect. Because I'm be like,
So there are going to be spoilers because I just feel like we have to talk about this movie.
See, we upgrading y'all. We telling y'all from the beginning there's spoilers. Normally we tell you after we said it.
It's because I remembered this time. So yeah. All right.
A scroll.
All right, so I'm going to give you a little backstory. So basically this movie's about some strippers. And there was an Asian stripper. Do we know names? I should have wrote names. I didn't write names on the paper.
Something Wu. Her last name was Wu.
Yeah, Constance.
That's it.
Constance Wu. Okay. And she was the main character. So basically she had become a stripper to make ends meet, take care of her grandmother. And she really wasn't that great at it. She wasn't making no money. She couldn't dance for real, you know. She really wasn't thriving in these streets. So she meets one of the boss strippers in the club, which is J-Lo. Boss. And J-Lo is just really about that dollars. You know what I'm saying? If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, you know?
Dinero.
Right. She was really about that dinero. So I don't know if y'all heard that song, but it's dope. So, she meets her, she teaches her about self-confidence and about just getting money from these dudes out here in these streets. So they're thriving, they're living that life, you know what I'm saying? They're getting all this money. Then the stock market crashes. And so they stop being able to make money. They had to do something strange for just a little bit of change this time. Instead of, making more change that they would have made.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I guess we was all supposed to feel bad about this. And then
why you say that like
I'm so sorry. So then they came together and came up with a plan to make more money. And that plan was to drug these dudes. And they would help the guys spend their little bank cards, spend their money, and they would split thousands of dollars amongst themselves. And the guy would go home feeling happy, but not being able to really remember what happened, but knowing they're broke. And that club took all their money. I find this... I wonder, because Cardi B, I don't know if you guys know, and I will say Cardi B was in the movie. Lizzo was in the movie. Keke Palmer was in the movie.
She was one of the main characters.
Mm-hmm. So all these people were in the movie. I wonder... Because a few months ago, maybe even last year, Cardi B had made a statement talking about her past. Actually, this was a couple years ago, but it was resurfaced just recently about her past as a stripper. Because for those who don't know, Cardi B, the rapper, she was a stripper first. She would drug men for money to make a living. And that became, that went viral, that information, because I guess some people weren't privy to the things that can go on in that world. Well, I don't know if they took what she said and made a movie out of it.
Listen, honey.
Because that's what it looks like. We can go past our time, I don't care.
No, okay.
Okay, so, all right. So... There were a number... Let me tell you, this movie is raw. Really extremely raw. If you do not like cussing, foul language, nudity, homosexuality, if you drug use, if you don't like that stuff, if it makes you uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form, don't watch this movie. It's not for you. You can't take it. Just
not your ministry.
Yeah, it's not your jam. So skip it. But the soundtrack was on point.
The bomb.
Bomb.com.
Okay.
The clothes was on point.
Listen.
Yes.
I don't even like chinchilla, but that was nice. I'm not a fan of her.
J-Lo had all the flyest stripper clothes. Okay. And her hair color was banging. J-Lo's acting was on point. Superior. Thought it was really great. And I really liked Constance acting. There was a lot of variations and a lot of highs and lows and a lot of intricacies in this story. Like, I thought, when I saw the previews, I thought it was going to be like real quick. Excuse me. Nothing deep, just real surface kind of a movie. But it actually was, I don't want to say it was deep, but it was a lot more to the story than what would be assumed. There was a lot of different themes going on, like how the love of money really is the root of all evil. And it'll have you doing things that you wouldn't imagine yourself doing, and you getting wrapped up in this world, and then you end up going much further than you had anticipated in this world. A false sense of independence. Constance ruled. She really kept saying in the movie, I just want to be independent. I just want to be independent. I don't have to worry about anybody. But you really have a codependent relationship in this movie. And almost to the point where it's almost kind of like her and J-Lo, you could tell they loved each other. But it seemed like Constance kind of had more of a romantic kind of a love. Almost. Just a little tinge over friendship to like, I'm in love with jealousy. You. Yeah. And J-Lo's character was more like, look, I'm out here to get this bag, okay? I love you and all, but if it's about this bag come first. So she was like really savage with it. There were no boundaries amongst the women in any way, shape, or form.
Zero amount.
No. And what else? It was about family. It was about relationship. It was about making a way out of no way. It was about greed. And how it was about trust and the lack thereof. It's a lot of stuff. So anyway, my last little stuff I want to say, which I've been talking forever. Feels like it. Okay, I already said J-Lo's acting was on point. She looked fabulous. She did not look like, I always call them robo-thoughts. People who get too much surgery and they look
done.
She looked like a grown woman with a fabulous body who's just killing.
I don't think she's gotten any work done.
She does. If she's ever had work done, which I don't think she has either, she looks amazing. Period. I don't know what it is. She's so hood. Jenny from the block. She's so hood. But I really love J-Lo. Everybody loves J-Lo. And she did a wonderful job. For me, Kiki and Lizzo, their acting for me was like, eh. But Kiki had some funny moments for sure in the movie. I could have did without them being in the movie. That's just me.
I can see that.
And then Cardi B, any Cardi B fans, if you were looking for her, she was only in there for that long. She had a couple funny lines, showed her face real quick, and then she dipped out. I would have liked to have seen more from her. And I could really appreciate, I went to dance aerobics, strip aerobics, and when I went, I had an awesome time. And at that time, I really gained an appreciation for strippers, dancers, and the athleticism that comes with what you have to do in that world. Listen, that stuff is not easy. You really got to be strong. You really got to be, you don't have to be fit. I used to think you had to be fit.
Yeah, but you just got to be strong.
Yeah, because the stripper that taught us, her name was Big Baby. So you don't have to be fit. But you do have to be strong. And you do have to be resilient.
That's a good word. Let me tell you something. If you dangling by your thighs, you already won in my book.
And Big Baby used to be at the top of the pole. She was super tall, super big. She was a big girl, just naturally big.
Nope.
She would be at the top of the pole.
Nope. Let me tell you
doing
something.
Tricks.
They would be like, oh, if I was a stripper, they'd be like, oh, why don't she ever get on the pole? She just dangles around it with one arm like this. And then she just be on the ground the whole time. It's my comfortable spot. Because I'm not doing anything else. I'm sorry, sir. Man, I echo the majority of what Sherelle said. I totally agree. And with I will say I appreciated the diversity. This was the first time in a long time or ever, it feels like, the main characters were of different ethnicities. You had one person to represent Hispanic culture, Black culture, white culture, and she was Asian. So we'll say Asian, but I'm not sure if she was Chinese. I'm not quite sure what she was, but we'll say Asian just for the sake of saying that. And so I appreciated that, just showing them what's bonding them is trying to get their lives. Trying to get their lives together. Trying to, make better their lives. And so I appreciated that part. I also appreciated, this is a kind of a theme that you see, like if you've ever watched video vixen stories or, video girls. You talk to many of them and they'll just talk about how back in the day they were treated like models and stars and making as much as the rappers and the artists that they were dancing for and in their music videos, and they were respected. And even how, one guy that was over, I can't remember which magazine it was. I think it was Vixen magazine, something like that. But he was saying how they wanted this magazine to start having Black and basically women of color, more so Black and Hispanic women on the covers, to show like, y'all are showing these type of women and these are not the women in our neighborhoods. We want to see the women who are in our neighborhoods. And so I just appreciated there was a part where you could see the transition from before the stock market crash to after the stock market crash. Of course, there's always exceptions to every rule, right? There's always going to be someone that does too much. But for the most part, the majority of these women, they have boyfriends, husbands, girlfriends. Some were in school. They were mothers. They were just doing everyday life, just having fun, going out there, making their money, doing what they do, and you were joining in on the fun with them, hoping that they were making some money. But then after the stock market crash, it started to be that strange thing for change, where before it used to be, sir, don't touch me, to where it's like, touch me all together. And you're not making anywhere near what you used to make as someone who used to be hands off. It's just so you could see the flip in, I guess, the culture, which I know there, of course, could be the talk about, oh, it's strippers. Like, what? Listen, people, it's a profession. Whether you agree with it or not, there are a lot of people out here that have this position. My only concern becomes not glorifying these things a lot, because everybody's story is not a Cardi B, right? They don't all make it out. They don't all become famous or make a lot of money, being able to pay their rent. Many of them were doing what some of them were doing in the movie, working a job in the day and then doing that in the evening, at night, so that was just a reality of that as well. I did appreciate the family aspect of it. The cast was, everybody that had talking parts were women. And I could see why they put people like Lizzo, Keke Palmer, and Cardi B in the movie, was because you put those names out there, then now that brings that crowd. Lizzo's hot right now. She was only in the movie for 5 seconds. Cardi B's hot right now. Movie for 5 seconds. Keke Palmer was in the movie a little longer, but she's also somebody now. Her audience is expanding because of the show she does now. So, excuse me. So people like that, like they were in the movie. So I did appreciate it. I thought it was good. Definitely worth seeing. And I would say that would really be it. There wasn't. I think one thing about it, everybody has a story, and to respect everybody's story, it's important. And friendship is important. So yeah, that's all I got.
The movie was definitely entertaining for sure, from beginning to end. I really,
absolutely,
like I said, I really liked the story.
Mm-hmm.
I like the story.
Oh, and shout out to what's her name? Julia Stiles. She was from that. Well, most black people know her from Save the Last Dance.
That's my girl. I used to watch that movie on
She's
repeat.
The one. That's her. So she was in the movie, and she was the interview, because really the whole movie was based on an interview that was happening. So you're learning about it post the whole situation happening. Mm-hmm. So that was an interesting take on how I wasn't expecting that. Mm-mm. I wasn't expecting them to do that part. Mm-mm. So,
and then that brought in another kind of sub story. Okay, who is she? Why is she talking to her? Why does she look that way right now? She used to look like this. What happened to her? How did we get here?
Right.
I love stories like that. I don't like them when they're one note.
Yep.
So I could appreciate that. Another thing to talk about though is the guys.
Why was I just saying that in my head? The men.
Okay, so
they weren't important, but they were.
Yeah. Before I say what I'm about to say, though, they showed man meat.
Did they?
You didn't see?
Yeah, they sure did. I forgot.
They showed it twice.
It was that insignificant.
Well, we're going to leave that where that was. We don't really fully know.
We don't really fully know
what it fully really
is.
Okay. But it was shown. And they don't usually show man meat.
That's true.
In movies.
They do show the woman meat.
I wasn't expecting man meat, especially for a stripper movie.
That's true.
Even in like Magic Mike.
I was about to say they didn't do
the Black Magic Mike movie, they didn't, which you know who had old dude from Cousin Skeeter.
Oh yeah. What's his name? Doesn't matter. Him.
But they ain't show no man meat in that.
Nope. And they didn't show any in Magic Mike. And I think that was probably helped their ratings a little bit. But they didn't show. I don't know. You might have saw. I just don't remember them showing anything in Magic Mike.
I don't even know that I've seen a movie with man meat. Maybe one of those. I don't know.
But mainly, I think because when you see a lot of nakedness for women, it's like in an action movie. It's unnecessary boobs. Just somewhere. Just bouncing about. And it's like, because their audience is men. Mm-hmm. Their audience is men. And this was, the men will come and they'll still like what they see. But this is a story. This is truly a story. How four unlikely main characters who came together in this movie looking for love, acceptance, and paper. Mm-hmm. Looking for money.
The other thing with the men that I wanted to mention too was because there was an ongoing debate of how to feel, I guess, about these men being drugged.
Oh yeah.
And robbed. Essentially,
that's what was happening.
And I mean, the way I see it is there's a certain culture that you are stepping into, and there are certain things that are acceptable within that culture, and so you might get what you get. If you lie with dogs, you might get up with some fleas. So that's kind of how I feel about that.
Yeah. I
mean, I hate to see it.
Right.
I don't like seeing it. Thousands of dollars being stolen out your account. But you was up in here with some shady folk. And that's a shady business. It just is what it is. People can do what they want. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, people are grown. But that business is shady.
Yeah, and they know about it. There was just an argument of these guys are corporate dudes on Wall Street, they're stealing money from people. Let's steal it back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this isn't quite a Robin Hood story. Right. They weren't spreading it amongst the people.
Take from the rich.
Okay.
Give to
You
the
know what
poor.
I'm saying? It's not, I don't want to paint it like that, right? It was just about 6 people benefiting. But eventually the whole club was benefiting from their shenanigans.
Yeah.
And the whole club was in on it. From the bouncers to the dancers.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was on it. But that's one of those things where you start getting too big.
Mm-hmm.
You start getting
Ego,
too big, and so you start
pride.
getting sloppy.
Right. And it's not like they wanted to just do it once and carry on.
Right. It was like, oh.
Not that
this
that would be
tasted
good either.
Right. This tasted good. Let me keep,
Mm-hmm. They became addicted to that power.
Yeah. I think it was, well, I'll just say it like that. Part of it was slightly satisfying if you're a feminist in a way, to see men catch it. Like, y'all, there's so much. And now, let me just say, I'm not like some man hater. That's not the case, okay? Love men. Okay? They do awful things just like women do awful things. Clearly, this movie shows that. But there was some part of like this, maybe a vindication. I don't know. Just we're seeing these women take advantage of these men who could be taking advantage of just other things that they're doing in life, and not seeing them win, but then in the same breath crying because she stole all my money, which again is messed up. Don't do that. That's not nice. Don't do that. Mm-hmm. But don't be so. There was just some part of it that was just like, you wanted to go, sir, you can't have it both ways. You can't come in here wanting to spend money and have somebody drop it like it's hot on you, and then make it into a space of now, feel bad because I was robbed. Now, there were a couple that, you knew their story, and it was like, ladies, don't have a conscience. Like, he's down on his luck. Don't do this to him.
J-Lo was a savage. She
Man,
didn't care.
she did not
She's
care.
Like, boop.
But then there were some guys that were, you don't want to say people are deserving of it, but they didn't make you feel bad that it happened to them. Mm-hmm. So I think that is how this movie made you wrestle. If this is something you've ever thought about, what's the difference between right and wrong, good and bad, like, good and evil, like where's the line?
There's a little bit of that in each person.
Mm-hmm.
I like that everybody didn't just walk off into the sunset in this movie. People had to serve. Well, did anybody go to jail?
Yep, which was weird. So J-Lo's character,
she went
5 years.
Okay, because there was people on probation.
Yeah, 5 years
Everybody
probation.
had kind of a different kind of scenario go on. And, yeah.
Yep. Which was the 2 girls. That I've never heard that before. They had to go to jail on the weekends.
I've heard of that.
That's a horrible weekend. Mm-hmm. It's like everybody else is going to the mall. You're like, I'll be back.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
So that was Keke Palmer's character and one of the other young ladies. The white girl, I don't know her name. She looked like Brittany Murphy to me.
Yeah. I would dare to think that and J-Lo was so good in her with her character, it makes you wonder what she would be doing now. And I could see her still doing the same thing, just getting a whole new crew of girls that she was dominating. Yeah. And I mean, Constance Wu seemed as though she shouldn't have never been there to begin with. Yeah. It seemed as though being in the strip club was, to fill some kind of internal void that she had going on, love that she was missing. And I mean, but I think a lot that's what a lot of people who are working there and the people who are patrons there go in to kind of get your fill, pun intended.
Yeah.
And
I guess we all found that thing that starts
somewhere,
that void.
Some people it's church and some people it's the strip club.
It's the strip club.
So I don't know.
That's a podcast topic. Some people it's the church, some people it's the strip club.
Real. Oh, and they said something too about how married men are the main ones
That's
that they
also
could get
another
that money from.
podcast topic. They were searching these people out, y'all.
They knew who to go to.
They knew who to go to. Like, it's bananas.
And I mean, if you're a man who watched this, watch your back. Watch your wallet.
Watch your back and your wallet. Yeah.
Don't drink no random drinks.
Don't drink any random drinks. Get your own drink.
If it tastes like date rape, get out of there.
Listen, if it tastes like finger, because they was mixing some of them drinks with their fingers. I was like, ew. So,
That was a amateur girl. Yeah. Snitches get stitches.
They be stitched up, yo.
And I guess that's it.
Oh, one thing about Constance Wu's character, you just got to see the intricate parts of her. So there was this one day where she's dropping her daughter off at school. She has like her stripper clothes on. And she's not bothered by anybody looking at her. She's making sure her daughter is getting to school
today. Like, I don't care. I got whatever on my t-shirt.
Like, she's not caring at all. And then also her breakdown when her grandmother passes away. So you're seeing all these parts of her, and also her sharing a reoccurring dream that she's having. So you're getting into her mind.
Yeah, we saw a lot of parts, a lot of levels of her character, and she did really well acting out those different levels. I also could appreciate seeing her trying to get into the work world.
Oh yeah,
you know, once the crash happened, she was trying to get a job, and they're like, "I'm sorry, you don't have any experience," and she's like, "But I need experience to get experience." It's like,
sad note. People in retail need to stop. We want people with retail experience. It isn't. I'm not even gonna go into that because if you know me, you already know I work.
If you do laundry,
like, just stop.
If you do laundry at your house, you got retail experience.
That's people just being lazy. They don't want to train anybody. It's not. I'd rather get someone new that I can train your brain to do the right things than someone who's coming in with some preconceived notion about what to do. And so you're not going to listen to me. But that's just me, though. Anyway.
How hard is it to fold up some clothes?
The hardest part is going to be ringing the register and then not finding anybody that's lazy. Like, that's it. And I'm not, I used to work in retail, so it is challenging, especially when you have to do all of that, plus set a sale that the store told you about 5 minutes ago. But seriously, don't do people like that, y'all. Hire them folks. Quit playing.
Last thing
Sorry.
I want to mention is, do you think there's a retirement plan for stripping?
Listen, if they were business women, so as J-Lo was, she was in school at one point. And so her character was already, she had already started a line of swimsuits. She was ready, had a great name for it and everything. So I think those who are wise know that you have to have an end game.
Mm-hmm. You got to have a plan in place.
Yeah, you can't keep that forever.
Your body goes.
Exactly.
Your mind gonna go.
All of that. Your level of care.
The money.
It's not going to be the same, and then there's going to be somebody young to come and push you out. It's just point blank, period. So, I just
have an exit plan if you choose that route.
Don't let there be a grandma night. No. So I hope so.
Yeah. I guess that is it.
That's it.
Did we take anything? I think we kind of mentioned some stuff.
We did. I will say something because on a more personal note, it was encouraging to be it was encouraging and admonishing all at the same time of being like, Brittany, stay on your grind and get on your grind. Because it's just important. She kept saying she wanted to be independent. It's one of those things where it comes back down to you all know that song, Beyonce, Me, Myself, and I. Even De La Soul had a song like that. You know what I mean? But it really does come down to you. Not saying that you're just walking through life alone, but no one can make you do anything right. So I was just sitting there saying to myself, She is stripping, making swimsuits, doing all this. She's taking care of her child. Like, she's also employing someone because she had a maid / nanny. Like, just looking at those things, I was like, man,
She was a boss.
She was a boss. And I just really was like, I appreciate that. So it was more of a reminder and encouragement to be like, stay on it. So if you're out there grinding, keep grinding. Stay on it.
It was a reminder and encouragement to me to do my dirt all by my lonely. I love that song. If you into some shady stuff, do it by yourself. Cause listen, you can't trust folk. They gonna snitch on you. They not gonna take your little stuff seriously. Any kind of grimy stuff you into, you keep that to yourself, okay? Cause people can't be trusted. So that was something too that I picked up on. I'm like, sheesh.
Adding too many people, too much stuff to the pot.
Yeah, you adding too much. You adding too much. And there was something else, but I think I forgot it.
It be like that, y'all.
I had a point. But yeah, stay hustling, I guess.
That's really it. Hustlers.
Stay hustling. Okay, so you got your candy bar rating?
I do.
Okay. It's between two different ones for me.
Yeah, me too. Just say both of them.
Okay. We're going to say them both at the same time?
Yeah, like this number to this number.
Okay. All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
3.5 to 4.
I knew it.
It's like the movie wasn't perfect, but it kept your attention the entire time.
And you end up liking it.
Yeah.
If you can handle all that you can see that goes on in there.
Yes.
But it's and the music will push that.
I know I was getting on the audience members' nerves. I was like, that's my wow.
Oh, speaking of that, I wanted to start this video off with this, but I didn't.
Oh.
I would like to apologize to everybody in the theater.
That soundtrack, we was in it. I was like,
okay, so what happened was my phone went off.
Oh, yes.
I know. I was
Y'all,
one of
that
those.
was hilarious.
So
I was like,
I'm sitting there and I'm like lotioning up my skin because I got bad skin, y'all. It soaks it up, all the oil. Takes a long time. So I'm like, well, I'm about to just lotion up while I'm in here. Like, forget it. So I'm lotioning up. My phone rings. I'm like, ow. So I grab the phone and I'm trying to cut it off, but I'm hitting, because I watch YouTube podcasts all the time. So I hit some kind of way the podcast starts talking loudly. And the baby oil got the phone slipping out my hand. I almost dropped it. I picked it up the whole time the podcast talking in the middle of the Oh, jeez.
Yo, it was so funny.
It was so Steve Urkel-ish. Oh,
it was
Lord.
Like, what's happening It was like, what's happening over there?
The struggle was real. So if you were in that theater with me, I am so sorry. And it was at a pivotal point in the movie, too. Because we were just figuring out what happened to Constance Wu and Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, yeah. It's okay. We all got the gist. We get the gist.
Oh, another thing with that movie, people are in your life for a season. Sometimes. You know? So, and there's certain worlds that you're in that you really end up stepping out of and having a whole new world or a whole new season or a situation that you're in, and then that ends, and then so we're constantly transitioning, constantly adjusting and readjusting in our life. So,
and it's okay. It is quite all right. Don't be scared to change. Don't be afraid.
Don't be scared. You either gonna change or life gonna make you.
Life is it'll surely push you into that spot.
Because I know I'm not how I used to be.
The hope is that the growth will happen regardless of what it looks like. because I know a lot of times I've had somebody say to me before that they were counting my growth as a lack of growth. And it's just so, girl. And I was just like, oh, okay. Well,
tell me who that is after this. Tell me who that is after this video.
And I was just like, oh, all right. But what that was someone's opinion. Yep. Because you're not walking my journey. You're not going into my story. So what may seem like a lack of growth to you, baby, I'm levels in my mind that are expanding. Like, it was just a reminder. Like, you can't live for anybody else. Like,
it's all a setup.
All of it.
So all of it is a setup, and whatever. But that is an ongoing theme in this movie. That was something else I wanted to write down, is knowing who you are. Because Constance went in not knowing who she was, admiring other people, wanting to be like other people, unsure of herself. And she met J-Lo, who knew who she was. She knew what she was about, what she was going to do, and who she was going to use to get what she wanted, and that she ended up influencing a whole lot of other people.
Yeah.
And if you don't know who you are, you could be tugged and pulled in any kind of direction. Yeah. So,
man, be careful. And it's funny, I guess mentorship is important.
That interviewer was almost like a mentor for her.
I guess in a sense. Yeah. Having her explore things that maybe she hadn't thought about. So,
therapy, y'all. This can come up in every video. We will find it.
Literally. Listen, get someone to talk to about your stuff.
Therapy or life coaching, whatever it is for you.
Yes. You got to get someone to talk to. Because, you can... Not that you're a burden to your friends, but you got to remember your friends have their own things going on as well. So y'all should be there for each other, absolutely. But sometimes you need somebody that is an outside perspective to come look in and say, you said this, this, and this over these last 3 visits, and I feel like this is happening. Ooh, don't get in my business like that.
Or, what makes you feel that way? And it'll make you delve deeper into yourself for what's happening. Like, dang, why do I feel? Exactly. I never thought about why I felt that way. I know I feel it.
But why?
What brought me here?
What's the roots? What are your triggers?
So sometimes they can lead you down your own path that you,
yes,
kind of veered away from.
Yes.
So.
And as a random side note, there was this point where they were having... there were 2 movies I watched in the past few days that had big scenes where there were people eating lots of food for like Thanksgiving or Christmas. And they had that in this movie. And so I'm so excited right now about the holidays because for some reason I just want to be around a giant table with my family eating deliciousness.
I look forward to Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Listen, dressing and cranberry sauce, don't put anything else on my plate. With mac and cheese, I'm done. We're over it. We're done. I don't need anything else the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Maybe a little meat.
Fried
Not
turkey.
really.
I need the meat. I could have a plate full of meat. I need to have fried and baked turkey. Please and thank you. Dad, if you're watching that, that's for you. Yeah.
That's it.
I guess. I think we're back to our long videos.
Sorry.
Just for today now.
Just today.
But it was a lot to say about this movie. So, glad we went to see it. We enjoyed it. Yeah. All right, we're going to eat our 3.5 to 4 candy bars. We out.